Hello, welcome back to probably episode 19, but we're calling it the last episode of the original trilogy because
Yeah.
this is the last week of Block 1. Well, technically, it's the second to last week of Block 1 because the game doesn't officially come out a week after pre-release, although you can now buy everything at pre-release. So I don't
Yeah.
think it really
It
means
doesn't.
anything.
I don't think it means anything anymore, right?
Nope.
It's only places like Waterstones and toy shops and stuff like that.
Don't get them.
Don't get them yet.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And who buys their stuff there? I imagine a lot of people do, but
Yeah.
who buys their stuff there?
Okay. Occasionally, if I buy a book from Waterstones, and I'm like,
little packs.
Oh,
I did buy a lot of Lorcana at launch out Waterstones because people hadn't cleared them out yet.
Yeah.
But we're not a Lorcana podcast, thankfully. We are a Star Wars podcast. So this evening, it's just two of us. Stephen, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm very tired.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's Elimination Chamber weekend. So
oh yes, I was also
watching that.
Very tired.
So
on Sunday. Because I also watched that.
Yeah.
I don't know why I've got back into wrestling at the prime age of 34, but I am.
It's because it's on Netflix now, right?
Yes.
It's clawed people back.
So accessible. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm also tired, but I am also tired of set 3, so I'm glad to see it gone. So we're just going to do a bit of a retrospective. It's also Swoo's birthday on Friday. It's been 1 year since it came out, the exact same weekend. So that'll be nice. And I think as a whole, my sum up of the 3 sets was a slope down a mountain. Set 1, great. Set 2, thematically not very interesting. And I would say like half the legendaries were good. And then we got to set 3, which thematically should have been straight through the roof, right? But that had the worst card pool that I've seen in a game in a very long time.
Yeah, and I think that's going to kind of be the common thing, right? If the third set is the one that gets the least play, I think it's going to be a common occurrence that it's going to be a bit not as great as the previous 2 sets.
I think the thing that really hurt Twilight of the Republic is the fact that both core mechanics of that set were just misses. Where at least Smuggle from set 2 was a good mechanic, a core mechanic that still sees play in the majority of competitive decks. Obviously, it sees a lot of play in Han, which is the strongest deck in the format as it stands. And then set 1 didn't really have any other than Rebels and Imperial. But the Rebel synergy was strong, and that's kind of carried Sabine through the whole block, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's just disappointing that, probably the most iconic period of Star Wars for the non-canon, non-film fans, right, is the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
It's a great TV show that's got loads of characters, loads of great stories, and this set was really building up, the Separatists versus the Republic, and it just completely fell flat, which is unfortunate because there's a lot of cool characters that we probably won't see again for another year, if not longer. And then obviously they'll rotate out in a year anyway. But it's a shame that they didn't hit as hard as they could have. My main one being Maul, the old leader, and Darth Maul, the unit. Both. I mean, Darth Maul, the unit is a great ECL target. It's just red villains in a rough place. Unless you've got Sentinel, and then he's really bad. Sentinel is probably the most played keyword in the game. So I was of a ramp downwards sums up my block.
Yeah, I was so hyped for Maul as well, and I think I played him once. Yeah, I played him once, and then kind of lent into Django quite a lot, and then finished up playing Bosk. But yeah, I agree with a lot of that. It's very much felt a bit like this kind of block, and this first year is we're just kind of finding our feet with everything, and we're testing a lot of things. Um, they don't have that to hide behind now.
No,
So
and
I think,
famously, this block was all designed as one set of cards. Like
hmm,
this was, finalized, ready to go before the launch of the game. Like we knew what these three sets were going to be, and maybe they moved some cards around here and there,
hmm,
but I don't even know how many cards are in a set. Let's say the 600 cards that are in this block were all
yeah,
kind of designed to be the core game of Star Wars Unlimited.
hmm,
Um, and I don't know why Exploit and Coordinate missed the mark and why they didn't get the boosts they needed to be a bit more relevant.
yeah. I think
Maybe.
like it's it's something that we've both mentioned a few times, like whether it's on here or
Mm,
just like to the gang in general. But like, if limited was a more supported way to play the game
mm,
outside of pre-release and draft,
mm,
then you could see that each set could have been a roaring success like the first one,
yeah.
because every set, and I stand by it, every set in its own bubble is really good.
Yeah.
Um, but then once you go into the big world of constructed, and it's like, well, Sabine has been good all the way through.
Mm,
Boba would have been good all the way through.
yeah.
Han's been good all the way through.
Mm,
Palp has been good all the way through.
yeah.
Um, and they don't really lean into any kind of mechanic at all.
No. And this is something KTOD said on one of their videos recently, and about how all the new leaders in set 4 are very mechanic driven,
Mm-hmm.
and whether or not those mechanics are going to be strong enough to beat the this is a deck full of good stuff.
Mm.
Where, like, I was really excited to play Phasma. I tried it on Carabas this week. There's just not enough first order cards. They're not good enough. So she's not there yet. She's a rare
No,
leader. We've got 2 years worth of sets to come out, which
yeah,
will hopefully have a bit more first order support in them.
yeah.
And
She'll have her time to shine.
yeah,
She's a rare card, isn't she? So
yeah, yeah.
they're
So,
built to.
but then it just kind of goes, okay, so the first order thing's not worked. There's not enough resistance stuff to make Hondo work.
Mm.
There's also a lot of pilots, and we're not going to probably see pilots outside of this set, just like we
Oh,
haven't seen capture. Oh no, sorry, just like we haven't seen any smuggle out of set
mm.
2 or exploit or coordinate going into this set, right? They obviously are very finite in the mechanics they're adding into each set, and it's just whether or not pilots are going to be good enough as an idea to warrant the leaders that are
Yeah,
pilots or function around pilots to still be relevant.
yeah. It's interesting, isn't it? It because they look like they're going to be really good and really busted, and games are going to be really quick because of what we've seen on the streams that FFG have done.
Yeah,
But when you throw them into constructed and you throw them against some of the forever decks
yeah,
that are out there at the moment, will they still be as quick? Like,
yeah.
a
Like
lot
how?
of people are a lot of people are saying like hard control is not going to be able to deal with it, but as long as they delete your unit that you've just played,
Yeah,
you can't put a pilot on it.
no.
So
And ideally, you're going to want people to play their pilots on their units, so then you can just be like, "Fell the dragon."
yeah, see you later.
Now
Boom.
no good to me dead. Now there's two.
Yeah,
Power of the dark side. Because
yeah.
if you kill the spaceship before they do that, they'll be like, okay, I'll just deploy the leader on foot,
Mm,
and you're like, I haven't got an answer for that now.
mm.
So I think there will be some kind of counterplay on just kind of outpsyching when you're attaching your pilots and stuff.
Yeah,
Like, because
yeah.
passing is so hard to keep tempo, right? If you start passing, the other person can just be like, well, I'll just claim next turn. You've done
Yeah,
nothing. Like,
yeah.
I'm a hard control deck. I want us to get to turn 10.
Mm. And like blue especially has some funky shit
Yeah.
coming in at blue like that. the ship straight out of Hearthstone, where it's just like, right, get rid of all that stuff that's also named Millennium Falcon. Like, that's nasty.
Yeah. So yeah, sure. And that is super interesting in the sense of like, as long as you can control that stuff, then we're good. But if piloting falls flat this set, then we're kind of left with Thrawn, Piet.
Piet, not so much because it's not about pilots, right?
No, sorry, we'll be left with as playable leaders.
Oh,
Thrawn,
sorry,
Piet, I guess Luke, arguably, and Poe arguably aren't really pilots, although they are, but they can play around it quite easily.
Boba
has an impact on his immediate flip, so possibly.
Yeah.
For sure. But there's no other big mechanic in the set, right? It's just pilots. There's so many spaceships, right?
Indirect damage is introduced this set.
Sure. Having a look at indirect, though, there isn't tons of it. There's not as much as I thought there was going to be.
No. I think that, to me, would suggest that indirect damage is potentially going to be like this block's experience. So, like, the one mechanic. So you had experience and shields in the first set that carried through. I think indirect damage will be the thing that carries through.
Yeah, I think it will be. Oh, have we got a Michael joining us mid-session?
Oh shit!
He swears straight away.
Oh my god!
Go on, Michael.
Unbelievable. Get it off your chest.
No, sorry. I thought. Yeah, my fault. I got stuck in a PUBG game too long.
PUBG.
PUBG. Not even Rivals.
Not even Rivals.
No.
Player Unknown Battlegrounds. People still play that in 2025?
See if my
nice,
yeah,
nice.
yeah. It's crazy. They've changed the game a lot since I last played it back in 2017 or whenever it came out.
Nice. So we're just chatting about Block 1, sets 1, 2, and 3. What's your how would you describe it?
So
like, how would you break it down?
So the block that we've actually been currently playing.
Yeah, set 1, 2, and 3.
I think, well, yeah, my personal opinion is just that set 1 was like set the bar so high.
Yeah.
And each progressive set, it kind of fell a little bit lower.
That's exactly what I said.
That's mental. But yeah, that's just what I think. But obviously, I got a lot of toys with Sabine in set 2 and 3, so like a lot of people really say that I can't complain. But like as a set as a whole, yeah, you don't really. After the first set, I haven't really been super hyped for cards that are coming out. Like it's just a bit of a whatever sets really after set 1, and then that's what set 4 sort of feels like now. It's like, oh, we're getting some really nice like big cards that like. Will the next 2 after that be that sort of trend? Start declining again.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just saying about how because of how badly Coordinate and Exploit fell flat in set 3, that what if piloting does the same thing again in this set with all the upgrade removal? Because something I've not seen in this set is a lot of upgrade removal, right?
If any. Is there any?
I swear there was a couple that like there was Honda. He takes control of a
a non-unique.
I think so.
Yeah, non-unique upgrade. And you
can
reattach it.
Is there like an eject thing as well, or is that just on your own?
It's just on your. It's just on your. I think you can do it to your opponent's stuff, maybe. But yeah, so when rotation happens, maybe pilots will see a new lease of life because a lot of upgrade removal would have been removed, maybe. And I would imagine there must be some in there, and we're probably just missing it, or else sealed is going to be like really spicy.
Just
like
pilots
this weekend everywhere. Of pre-releases is just going to be pilots everywhere.
Yeah.
You're not going to go for the Phasma First Order Tribal?
Absolutely not. I was just saying, I've mentioned this as well already, because I've played it on Carabas this week, and it's just not there at all. There's not enough First Order cards, and the ones that we have aren't good.
No.
Which is unfortunate. Like, there's a 2-drop 1/1 space there that makes a 1/1 token. Why is that good?
Yeah, not gonna. That's
Do you
not
reckon
good.
when FFG? Oh, sorry, I was just gonna say. Do you reckon when FFG said they were gonna have an aggro deck that to rival Sabine?
It's
Was it
Poe.
really gonna be?
It's
Was it
it's
really gonna
Poe.
be Phasma?
Poe.
Was it really gonna be
It was
Phasma?
never going to be Phasma. Well, now knowing with a bit of hindsight, it was never going to be Phasma.
Yeah.
But I've been playing against some Poes today who have just been trench running me for like 10 plus damage. 10, 2 or 3.
Yeah, it's dirt.
Feels bad, man.
It's dirt. I think, yeah, Red Green Heroes in a real good spot.
So it always has been.
Yeah, but like it's just kind of been ramped up a bit more, right? Oh god, it's very Elon there. To apologise. It's those stickers from our hackathon last week starting to embed in. Yeah, Red Green Hero is like an obvious winner. Django is a obvious winner, like off the back of this set.
You know,
so,
and we still haven't heard, and I
so
wouldn't have
much
expected to have heard yet about like limited cards or whatever, if they're going to ban or change anything, right? Because that should come next week after pre-release.
Was it after last time?
Because I remember I was like, oh, I can't wait to pick Cad Bane in my Boba Yellow deck. I'm going to play it on Thursday. And then it was either on Thursday or the Wednesday when they were like, he's banned. On Friday, he's banned. So it was like, one last rodeo, let's go.
Yeah.
And then I ended up playing Django that night anyway.
Because we all got very excited about Boba, and now there are 2 of them. I say all of it, like, me and Danny got very excited about Boba.
Hey, I was pulling up in style when I heard that Boba got banned. Oh
yeah. So we're everyone's planning decks and stuff. I've seen the community start putting together like Kaz decks and Piet decks, and because we've got every card now. I don't think we're missing anything.
I think we've got them all now.
Yeah, I mean, all the showcases are coming out slowly as we speak. I think, well, if they're not all done as well now. So it'll be interesting to see how all of that gets thrown out the window come Wednesday next week when they go, oh yeah, DJ's gone.
I don't think they'll get rid of him. I think they'll just change the core rule.
Sure, and I think if they change the core rule about not being able to blow up your opponent's resources, I think that basically kills DJ, because borrowing a resource for a turn or 2 isn't worth 7 resources.
No, unless it's going to win you the game there and then.
Yeah, and some games it can do, right? If you're against a 6 deploy leader and you're ramping and you can delay their thing, and then they can't just blow up DJ, then you're laughing. But like Jamie was saying, oh, this is like the base level of my Kaz deck that I'm gonna start playing with, and it's almost the Han deck that I've been playing. Loads of people have been playing for the last kind of 3 months. And it's just like, well, you could play that, but if nothing in the game changes, Han Yellow's better than that deck. Just because you can turn off the odd bounty and have a 3/3 Wookiee turn 1. Like, I'd rather play Han with the Rebel package and be able to draw half my deck than play 3/3 turn 1, I think.
Yeah, and you are seeing that a lot. People posting decks that are just new leaders on old good decks, and it's like, hey, look what I've come up with. And so that's just Poe with the Sabine deck. What are you talking about? Like,
you've just stolen Michael's idea. Take the Darksabers out.
Dark Saber out, Chewie in, Sabine out, Poe in.
Build my deck. What are you looking at the moment, Michael? What's grabbing your attention?
I have been completely disconnected from Star Wars, I must say.
Off season is off season for a reason, right?
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I was talking to Jamie like the last time we came to Athena, when we were going home. I was just like, I really do not feel like the competitiveness there. Like, I appreciate like playing it casually, but I like having a goal to get to. So like, so when we hit pre-release and we start playing with all the new cards and stuff, I'm really looking forward to like the next run of like Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean, we've got 4 weeks till Liverpool, right? This time next month we're in Liverpool.
I'm gonna be so broke because in 2 weeks, in 2 weeks I'm going skiing or snowboarding, and then come back, and then a week after that is just
Going to the glittery heights of Liverpool. Lovely. I know
Yeah.
where I would rather be.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
when
we've
is
got.
it? What weekend is
it's a
Liverpool?
month tomorrow. I've just checked. It's the 4th of April. Is when
Oh, that's it. That's it. I was getting worried. It was no. I'm getting trips away mixed up. But no. So talking about Liverpool, do we think something new is going to win, or will it be comfy slippers with a little tweak?
If nothing changes in a ban list or anything, I think I would struggle to see something better than Han.
Have you seen the Django?
True. I have seen the
Like-
Django.
Like when every card
Hmm.
is doing some kind of ping damage,
Yeah.
whether it's indirect damage or whether it's like the cards that it had in the first place. Like it's
True.
potentially going to be really, really oppressive
Yeah.
against certain decks, and I'm quite.
You can
forward to
only
giving it a
exhaust
spin.
one card a turn though until he's deployed. So I
Yeah,
guess you
well-
need to have the answer to answer. You need to be able to answer Django. But once you've answered Django, I don't know. Have to test it, right? Yes, I think new Django is definitely looking stronger than old Django, and old Django was a top 3 deck. So, I don't think there's a great deal that Han's getting in yellow, but I honestly haven't picked my way through the card pool completely yet. Obviously, like new double yellow Mandalorian looks pretty good.
Yeah, that's probably going in, right?
But there's so many new Rebel cards that Sabine must still be gas. Like, will you get something better than Poe or Wrecker? Probably not in the top end, but it feels like there's a lot more Rebel top end. So maybe there is something that synergizes better.
Just the inclusion of Chewie though is
Yeah.
just
Get your
shoots that up.
A-Wing going.
Yeah.
Doing crazy things, right? And like I said, if the piloting stuff doesn't work, I reckon the top leaders out in the new set are going to be Poe, Piet, Thrawn, and maybe Boba.
Yeah.
I think they're the 3 to look forward. Oh, and maybe Kaz, right? Maybe there is something in that Kaz. But do any of those decks do anything better than what we are already seeing? I think Piet and Thrawn will be too slow. I think they will probably be more popular control decks, but I think with all the like that new 11 cost blue ship, I think you're just playing Iden. I think you're playing an Imperial Ambition, hitting yourself for 11 to play it really early, and then using Iden's ability to try and heal as much damage back as possible.
Yeah. I was messing around before they introduced that heal card. Not heal card, the damage preventing card.
Yeah.
I was chatting to Leighton. I was like, I've been having a whale of a time with Galactic Ambition on Karabas. It's just villain casino Han basically.
Yeah.
And you're just dropping all sorts of nonsense.
Yeah.
You just ramp to 7, have it in hand, and then just play a gore. There you go. Thanks. And there's just lots of nut stuff in this set. So maybe you're going to start seeing Galactic Ambition a lot more.
Yeah, but then could it just end up being like a now there's 2 of them situation where everyone thought now there's 2 of them decks were going to be the one, and I played it with CAD at the start of the set and it went all right, but it's not consistent. You're not pulling it off every game.
No.
When you've built your deck to architecturally work with that one card and you don't see it every game, it just feels bad.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So yeah, I just don't know whether or not anything new will be good enough. Like I was saying before you got here, Michael, like a lot of the leaders in the new set are very focused on a particular mechanic. like Luke with fighters or Han on any spaces just bouncing around and ejecting and all that cool stuff. Where none of them are just able to give you the freedom of just being like, here are all the good cards, and here's a leader that just has a generally good ability that allows you to play good cards more.
They've kind of got to do that though, haven't they? Like the fact that they're printing so many leaders out each set, they've got to, really just make them so niche, which is weird.
Yeah, and that's what they have done. Apart from like Quinlan, right? Quinlan out of set 3, one of the best leaders out of set 3, and his ability was just ping a damage when you play a unit. Right, had no synergy with anything in the whole set, and ends up being one of the strongest because it just doesn't rely on
a specific keyword.
Right? Like Dooku, there's a few more separatist cards I think in this set which don't have exploits, so maybe Dooku can exploit a few more cooler cards. Maybe that deck will get a little bit better because of that. But it's unlikely, right, that we're going to see a big Dooku renaissance because there's enough separatists suddenly to make him good.
You literally still have Power of the Dark Side or Waylay if you ever exploit something out.
Yeah. So it's just kind of like the game is so important just to be like good stuff, and this is why I can see why people are like, with Kaz, if you can turn off the negatives to play these overstated units, I can see why that's definitely worth looking at. It's just whether or not those overstated units are enough to counterbalance like just the raw synergy that Double Yellow Han has of just the Rebel package plus like being able to just be able to raw resource cheat out similarly statted units, or units that are slightly lower statted but have a much more impactful effect, like Kira, right? Like if turn 2 you just Kira the, I can't remember what it's called, but that 4/6 spacer that they can play that bounces around when it dies, then suddenly it doesn't matter that you can turn that ability off because you can't play it anymore. So it just depends on like how those powerful abilities kind of interact with just being like, here's my big stat stick. And I don't know. I haven't played the matchup yet, so I don't know. I don't know how it looks because I'm also just a bit against testing when you haven't got full information.
It seems like the future of the game is just going to be so different. Like once this block like rotates out, right, it's just going to be a completely different thing. Do you reckon like the designers, they were just like, yeah, this way of playing the game in like season 0, yeah, this is not how we plan it, and like then we go into the more niche stuff and like tribal being an actual more of a thing.
Yeah,
Whereas,
I think
like, the initial sort of phase was just like, yeah, let's hook people in quickly.
Yeah, like I think that is the case. Like with Destiny, they had the core game with set 1, and then set 2 they broke it with action cheating. And the best thing in Destiny you could ever do was just being able to go, I'm going to take 3 actions in a row. Isn't this really good? And they've introduced a little bit of action cheating with Kaz, because now you can do, you can blank out an effect and then still do something, which is the first time we've seen that. And I don't think that in itself is powerful enough to warrant screaming bloody murder about. But it's very clear that when we had the rotation in Destiny, the game that we had at that point to how the game we had at launch were 2 very different games, and they kind of like had their test pool of original ideas where they kind of had the melting pot of what works, what doesn't, and then they kind of went, right, this is what we want the game to be. Here's 2.0 with just how quick everything is, how things synergize, because you also just like, the more you as designers, they chat and work out new ideas and how they can push the mechanics, they're going to develop more interesting like abilities, right?
So, yeah, and there's still loads of scope to be able to have some funky new abilities and stuff. So yeah, there's still lots of wiggle room for game design, and whether it's as simple as just looking at magic and going, we don't have anything like goad at the minute. Let's see if we can incorporate that into the game, maybe, or taunt, or whatever,
or reach, or maybe not reach, because the split arena thing kind of helps with that. But
Yeah, but so Michael, you mentioned earlier that you've kind of struggled to get into the game when there's been nothing like tournament wise and stuff to get your chops into.
Yeah.
Would you two say that this season 0 of organized play has been a success, or do they still have a lot of work to do?
Do you want to answer first, Danny?
No, you do it.
I was gonna say I think it was a bit of a mixed bag, probably.
Mm.
Like I feel like they probably should have introduced all of the rank stuff, or like the sort of stuff that we're getting now, a bit earlier, and just make them a bit more frequent, so people can just really just move around and like interact and like get into like the more sort of bigger pools instead of just doing like showdowns where everyone took showdowns like super super seriously, where it's meant to be like a bigger sort of
Weekly.
Friday night sort of
Yeah.
play,
Yeah.
weekly play. Yeah, I think they should have just like had things to feed like the competitive side of like of all the card players, but because I feel like that lower level probably like maybe possibly like pushed the sort of casuals out of it a bit more, because their first sort of ranked experience was just super sweaty, super grindy sort of thing, and it's just like it shouldn't really be like that. It should be way more casual. So yeah, I'd probably say they should have done it earlier, and then given the really competitive players like more things to go to, and then yeah, have the less competitive scenes just for the more casual player. Also, I also think the rewards also sometimes they weren't like the best, especially
Mm.
I might sound like a little crybaby now, like being like, oh no, my free cards or whatever for winning,
Yeah.
but like set 2 was no one used the card apart from Jamie and his bloody Yoda yellow deck, the unrefusable offer. Like
Yeah, sure.
it's just like seeing that, and it's just like, is this really what I'm going for? But they did pick it up when it came to the planetary qualifiers with that cool little token and the mat and stuff like that, and the tranquilities. Like they did step their game up with that, and they also stepped their game up with the gore as well. Like it should just be a legendary each time, and now they've gone into set
Mm.
4 with the
Devastator.
Devastator, right? Yeah.
Great
So I
card.
think
Oh yeah.
they are going in the right direction. I feel like they were just experimenting a little bit with that season 2. Like let's see how they react to a rare being the promo thing, and I think
It wasn't good.
no.
Mm. No, season 2 was very hipstery, wasn't it? Like,
Yeah, and
oh,
I would agree as well. I think what you said about getting more earlier, I think it was a bit of a cop out. I think when they saw the reaction to how many people bought the game and wanted to play it, and they sold out and blah blah blah, they kind of went, "Oh, we need a real plan for organized play. Let's let the plan be. We'll look at it in a year's time and tell them that."
yeah.
And it's like when the first set of planetary qualifiers hit, and they went, "Oh, there's only 64 promos in the kit, but
I know.
but events have sold 128 spaces."
Yeah,
And
that was
so it obviously showed that they didn't. They only planned that many planetary qualifiers because they didn't think the player base was going to be that big.
Mm.
So they wanted to get them up to the kind of the 64 player cap,
Mm.
which is fair enough, because when you look at Destiny, the national championship I won
Yeah.
had 74 people at it, right? Which was huge for a UK tournament. Like Europeans had, Europeans had maybe double that, like maybe 140, and then that was the European Championships. And then Worlds had like 400, where I would imagine, like it maybe not Liverpool, but maybe Lille will have 400 people.
Yeah, I think so.
I reckon Lille will go massive, or maybe Milan. One of the two, I reckon, will go really, really big.
Yeah.
So was
Liverpool.
the cap for those ones 1,000 people, or
One of them's capped. I think Liverpool's capped at 1,000, and Lille is 2,000.
Oh.
And neither of them will hit 1,000.
No, Liverpool definitely not, because it's not going to be anywhere to stay because it's Grand National Weekend.
It is Grand National Weekend, yeah.
So if you haven't got your accommodation, you're probably staying in Manchester. And having a drive in the morning.
Yeah.
So going back to PQs, because the numbers have been bonkers this set, like selling out in America and then in Ireland, what was it, 14?
14 people.
Yeah.
14 people. Italy was quite consistently like around 30 people, and they had 3 or 4 PQs.
Yeah.
Um,
And obviously, mainland UK, like Norwich was probably the smallest at 50,
yeah, I think so.
but most of them were, in the 70s to 100s.
Yeah.
Which, just going back, like, and that's the level of tournament we were getting for Destiny Nationals.
Hmm.
And that's just a weekend, one dayer, not a 2-day, main UK event. Kind of just shows how big the player pool is. And they were also crap with OP in Destiny as well, like the cards they would pick and all of that stuff. Terrible, but they were very generous with mats. Like store championships had mats, regionals had mats, national had mats. Like I have so many Destiny mats that I gave to a bunch of you guys when we started, just being like, I have too many of these old Star Wars mats. Like, fill your boots.
I don't have that much of a pedigree when it comes to card games, so I don't see the fascination with like a top 8 at a showdown should get a mat, and like people really bloody love their mats and think that they should be handed out like
you
sweets.
get a participation mat for going to Liverpool or Lille, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like, just go to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like with Flesh and Blood, right? Me and Michael used to play Flesh and Blood together. And the monthly store play kits had 2 mats in it. So, whoever won the most, you got points every week. Whoever had the most points at the end of the month got a mat.
Ooh. Yeah, I remember they were good kits, to be fair. They were very good kits.
And when you compare that to the weekly play of Star Wars, which is like, here's a promo pack, there are 20 cards in it. They're nice cards, don't get me wrong. But it'd be nice if you also got that with the armory kits and from Flesh and Blood. So,
I mean, they're giving people the initiative token and the soft shell box thing as well for like placements, aren't they? Or is that just something that the stores are doing? They just ordered too many.
Yeah, a lot of stores throw in sleeves and deck boxes and stuff just because they've ordered too much and they want to get rid of it. Like I think Mike was saying on one of the K2OD podcasts, like so many stores are giving away boxes of set 3 as prizing for PQs because it's just like it's not very good. It's not worth very much.
People
I can write this off if I give it away as prizing, right?
Yeah, and where was it that Griffin Gaming were selling them like for was it 50% off?
Yeah, 50% off, price? 60 quid.
Yeah,
60 quid a box, and I'm still like, not worth buying.
No.
Like when we went to Zatu a few weeks ago, Michael, and we played for that winner box. If that wasn't a set 1 box, I wouldn't have gone.
If that was a set 1 box, you would have been like, Michael, you can have it, mate.
Yeah, if that was set 3, I'd be like, I'm gonna concede now and just go home and save the hour of my time.
I mean, I did alright out of that box.
Yeah, you did.
I was like,
I'm a whale and already had all of the cards, so
yeah.
I was really appreciative when you said, "Oh, do you want to split this, Michael?" I was like, "Oh yeah," just getting absolutely slapped about in the 2 games. I was like, "Oh, I can't do anything here." Just been Falcon, Cunning, 7th.
Yes, I was. I just didn't want to risk you just being like, "Here's Sabine," and I was like, "Ah, yes."
I was really happy. I was really happy. Sorry, just last thing before we can move on. I was really happy because I managed to beat Ethan in the Sabine mirror after he whooped my ass on Thursday. I was just like,
yeah, I wouldn't have split with Ethan. It was only because it was you.
Screw that guy.
Yeah, screw
that guy.
That's so kind of you, Danny. See, this is what teammates do for each other.
Yeah.
Unlike Jamie.
He would have force choked you, and made you tell him you love him.
And then taking all the cards home.
Yeah. And then put them in your collective binder.
Yeah.
Are you doing 2 pre-releases, Michael, or just the one over the weekend?
Just the one. I can't really. Yeah, I haven't even bought any like set 4 stuff. I'm literally just doing the pre-release and then holiday.
Working it out.
Then when I'm back from the holiday, then that's when I can start. Oh yeah, I can actually spend my money now.
Yeah. Are you doing Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday. That's when all the fellas are going down.
Nice.
I think that
Yeah.
one's gonna be big.
Yeah, Saturday generally does quite well. Sundays normally maybe 10. Well, like set 3, there was about 10 of us who played Sunday.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I get a bloody legendary in my box. 'Cause if I don't, oh my god, I'm actually gonna be so PO'd, man. Oh, I'm gonna be so mad.
I got double mauls last time.
Did.
Oh yeah, it's
That
nice
was
and
fun.
And you still
That was
didn't
fun.
win.
Wow, I didn't. I don't think. What did?
You didn't play him, I don't think.
Who
No.
won? Did you win, Danny? And you were cheating the whole time.
No, that was set
No.
2.
That was set 2 with
yeah,
Mando.
yeah. Back when I thought
That's
experience and shields made him good.
No, but I thought you were using now there are 2 of them on
Oh,
vehicle
I
units.
did.
Oh.
I did. Now there's 2 of them out. A redemption because I didn't read the card.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah, but I also didn't win. So
Yeah, oh, fair enough.
yeah,
Can't do that.
yeah. But that's up to my opponent to read my card as well. I don't. I blah blah blah. A lot of rules.
Yeah. What are you hoping to play on Friday and Saturday?
On Sunday.
Friday and Sunday. If you're
doing all
doing all 3.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I fucking love me some Star Wars, boys. I'm not picky. I don't really know the set enough. I'd like to be able to somehow have pull a fairly constructed Thrawn deck, maybe, but I don't think I'll hit enough when defeated to make that happen. Maybe some Rampy Piet deck. I'd like to play something a bit off kilter.
Yeah.
But I'll probably end up just playing something that I haven't even thought about.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying not to. I want to play Boba on one of them.
Yeah.
And then I'm just gonna see, because like with set 2, I got hyped up to go to right. I'm gonna play bloody Cad Bane.
Yeah.
Boss, because I was all about the bounty hunters, and then the whole weekend I played Ray.
Yeah.
Like complete opposite.
Yeah, I never try and force whenever I play any sealed set. I never force. I just look at what I'm handed, look what I pull, and I'll just build the best deck I can.
Yeah.
That I think I can from that pool. I'm just scrolling through the leaders, but they're all mixed together now on 3DV, so it's
Oh no!
pain in the butt to try and work out. But yeah, maybe like a Luke, or I'll probably go something piloty. Have some fun with it, but I get a bit of warm up on Friday. I don't know how many people are going to Alpha, but I can't imagine it'd be more than 10. So we get a bit of a pre-Saturday warm up, work out what's good, see what synergies people's pull, and I can be like, take all that knowledge to Saturday to
Jesus Christ.
to win it through. Because my goal is, because 3 pre-release boxes is 18 cards, so I'm only 6 cards short of a box, so I need to win 6 packs over the 3 days. So then I've effectively bought a box. And then, because I'm not actually buying, before you join, I'm not actually going to buy any boxes. I'm going, because I'm buying the Carbonite boxes. So I'm going to use my pre-release boxes plus that. I'll probably buy a uncommon common play set, and then to start filling out rares with some of my card market credit. But I will get a play set.
That's like what me and Jamie are doing. We're probably going to buy 1 box or something like that.
Yeah.
And then just singles hunt and just get all of our stuff from weekly play packs. So you know me and Jamie are gonna be sweating every single week, no matter the cost.
Yeah, well, because that's something that I always end up doing is I will complete my uncommons, commons, and rare set within 3 weeks of the set coming out, and then I've just got 3 months of playing weekly play kits, being like, nope, no legendaries in that pack, no legendaries in that pack, no legendaries in that pack, and I just give all the cards away, and I'm just like,
the game.
Maybe if I didn't collect so ravidly, so quickly. I won't have cards to lend to everyone, so their decks will be junk. And B, I'll actually get value out of the weekly play packs as I continue to play throughout the weeks, rather than being like, no, I must buy 3 holdout blasters because that card is junk. And then at the end of the set, I can then go through and buy the rares that I'm missing in that, because I think it's fairly obvious what the good rares are going to be and stuff. So you just pick them up a week or 2 after. And if I do want to buy boxes and it's you know, and if this set doesn't do as well and is as good as the current set, you know, I can just buy a box for 60 quid in 3 months' time.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to pulling an Asajj Ventress showcase and playing her.
Mm.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
Do you know what I'm looking forward to? Pulling a 1 of 250 Millennium Falcon or Chimera from my Carbonite booster box.
Oh,
I'm guessing those are all sold out.
Nope. I was checking
No.
today because I've not had the email from Athena about my pre-order of them. So I was just like, oh, let's have a look online to see if I can still get them. And you can still buy pre-orders of the boxes.
Crazy.
yeah.
Well,
I
there's
How
saw
much is it?
Griffin had some
250?
as well.
Was it 250?
270.
Okay.
But there's we did the math before. I think Unplayable spoke about it today in one of their videos. But there's 8,500 numbered prestige cards in the Carbonite packs. So there's 8,500 packs that have a numbered prestige card in them. So you've got and probably about 10% of all the packs will have a prestige card in them. So I imagine you'll probably get one a box.
If I ever
Maybe.
feel flush, might have to cop a bag.
Yeah, like
Cop a box.
Copper
Copper
box.
box.
I think, you know, I'm more interested in buying a box of that than 2 boxes of
The
standard.
regular one.
Mm.
Yeah.
Even if you get half the amount of cards,
They're pretty.
they are pretty. Although most of the cards are just hyperspace and foils.
Which you hate.
I really like the hyperspaces, and unfortunately, they have more foils in them.
Yeah.
It's 4 foils, 3 hyperspaces.
That Chimera card that was posted in the chat by Jay.
Mm.
Is it like they did that thing with the sort of what's
Yeah.
it called? Textured sort of thing where it's like actually coming out of the card a bit. That's nice.
Looks good.
That looks
Yeah.
good.
Mm.
Yeah, I want a fire spray.
Yeah, and I imagine the number will be important as well. Like I reckon 169 and 250 will be the highest value numbers of the 250.
Yeah.
If you could get up to 420, obviously that would be a big one.
Mm-hmm.
47 generally can do all right because of AK-47. I know when a bit of banknote trivia for you. When they release new notes, they do it alphabetically. So they go serial numbers are AA, AB, AC, blah, blah, blah. And you can get AK-47 serialized banknotes, and they're worth ridiculous money. Fun fact.
Fun fact.
Right.
Right.
I think
Thanks
that kind of sums up.
Thanks for killing the podcast for that.
I thought it was interesting.
That was a good fact. Good little tidbit.
Yeah. Michael, who are you looking forward to playing this weekend?
I don't know.
Name a leader you can remember.
Asajj. I was actually just looking at probably like Pit, right? Like just.
Wedge
cheating
could be
stuff
quite a
in.
nice one as well. For
Yeah,
the weekend.
Wedge as
Hopefully, one of
well,
the 3
yeah.
days I'll get to play Wedge.
Trust me, I'm gonna come in with a rogue Asajj pick, and you guys be like, "Whoa, how is this guy just won?"
I don't even remember what she does.
She gives grit.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it's not exciting, but that's probably all right.
yeah. That could carry through, right?
When you're giving your units more health to gain more grit.
Mm.
Deal of damage, ping of damage.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's such a shame I can't play Han or Boba. Unless I pull a showcase, I guess.
Oh, they'll be in the box, won't they? Or are they not doing that this time?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, will they not be in those white sheets? You know, like
Yeah.
the other
Yeah,
ones,
maybe.
like the
Well, they
Assault.
yeah, because they have been cutting back on that because it was double foil in the first set.
No, I think it was always single foil, right?
No, there was no foil. There were hyperspaces in the first one, and then they went
What was
hyperspace
the-
foil for sets 2
Ah,
and 3s.
that's it.
What was
That's
what was the red and blue one? No, those were the starter ones, and the ones that you're thinking of, the hyperspace ones. I swear those were like an event exclusive.
The Luke and Vader foil ones were event exclusive because I've got them.
Well, the
And
ones with
then
the like red and blue are not the ones where in that like chamber bit when they first face off.
Yeah,
Oh.
they're in foil.
Yeah.
and then set 2, Mandalorian and
Gideon are
Gideon.
foiled on the leader zone side, but not on the flip side. The hyperspace on the flip side. So they might do that with. Yeah, I imagine they might be in there. Don't know. Depends because obviously they announced that new 2-player starter box, the Echo Base assault thing, which looks like it's just going to be the 2-player set for the block. I imagine they'll.
Yeah.
We didn't see the rotation number at the bottom of the cards, but I imagine it will be that will hang around for 3 sets and then rotate out when they do another one, and they'll do like an Endor one, and that could be a good way to get the Ewoks in without having an Ewok set.
Yeah.
They could do like, Assault on Scarif, and you just pick a singular battle, a single point, right? You could do like Geonosian Arena, that'd be really sick.
Yeah.
Like loads
Battle
of
of
Jedi versus.
Yeah. Battle of the Death Star if you wanted another spacey themed one.
Yeah. Take these ideas down, FFG. Just
Yeah.
send me a Carbonite box of that relative set.
Done, idly done.
Right. Any final words leading into the next block? Any predictions?
What about life in general?
No,
I think
about the block. Do you reckon this block is just gonna go down the slope, or are we gonna go up the ski lift, or are we gonna do some cross country skiing?
I hope that it is just steady.
Yeah. So in a year's time, we can look back and be like, did we get cross country?
Yeah, and be like, that was a solid set.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. I don't want to see like power creep at all. I just want.
What if it power creeps back up to set 1?
Is that good for the game? I don't know. If anything like that is going to happen, it's going to happen this time next year.
Sure.
I don't think they'll do anything quite like that just yet. Because if they did it now, that's a year's worth of stuff that just doesn't get played, right?
Sure. And I think just the way that the sets would have been designed, these sets would have been designed after the release of the game, right? And they would have started to see how people play it and all of that kind of stuff. And that will only be cemented more as the sets push through. Like, I imagine they're done with next year's sets about now. Like the block that we don't even know the names to yet. Or did they give us the names?
I don't think so.
No.
Don't think so.
Yeah. Michael, what's your predictions?
I reckon it's going to go cross country for a bit.
Yeah.
Or maybe for a little while. But I want to say that there's going to be some discourse. They're going to release one card that messes everything up, most likely, or like one deck just becomes absolutely bonkers. I reckon that's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah, like a Boba's armor, but like on steroids.
Yeah, and then
something a bit more universal. It is always interesting for games to release that one card which breaks their game, right?
Yeah, and we've got Worlds. We've got Worlds in a couple of months, right?
Yeah, I mean, set 5 is World set, right? So
yeah,
it's interesting,
and that's gonna flip a lot on its head, I think. I think you will see. I think you might see some content creators start to kind of hold a few things a bit closer to their chest. I know KTOD are quite open about the fact that they're like, no, we just put everything out there because it's a forum. We steal ideas off of you as much as you guys steal ideas off of us, and we chat about it all and stuff like that. But there are content creators out there who have kind of put the warning out there to say, have put the just to say, hey, we might pull rank a bit when it gets closer to Worlds, So
yeah, I saw Thork announced his Team Enigma It's
Keenan,
cooler than
isn't
the
it?
Alliance Dispatch, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Real dark and mysterious, you know.
Yeah, edgy. Anyway,
Have it.
rather be lucky than good, everyone. I reckon. Oh, my prediction: cross country. This set will be probably as good as set 3, and then they'll realize that they need to start pushing the boat out a bit, and then we'll rock it back up. By set 5 or 6, we'll be back at the PowerPoint of set 1.
Sounds like a good prediction.
And we'll come back in a year to see if we're right, and we will make up Jamie's and Jay's in a year's time and say they were wrong.
They're always wrong. And heel John Cena did nothing wrong as well. I just would put that out there.
No, the rapper that punched Cody in the head too hard
Oh,
did
he
something
did.
wrong.
He did proper punch him in the head.
Wrestling.
Wrestling.
Literally, there's just this normal rapper dude just punched him straight in the head and just like massive gash. Like, it was good quality entertainment.
Travis Scott, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, rather be lucky than good.
Goodbye.
Bye.